And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Dragon's Gold. Now this is the third time I've done it. I wrote a review on the original blue box version, and then I did a review of it when it came out in the tin here from White Goblin. White Goblin is still making it in Europe, but now they're partnering with Pandasaurus and IDW Games and a box version. Now the games are almost identical. There's a small difference, which I'll mention at the end of the review. And if you've already watched, if you already know how to play it, then just skip to that. But if you haven't, or you want to see what components have changed, check it out. This is a fantastic game. Okay, the first thing I want to do is, if you've played this game before, show you the differences between this version and last version. The shields in this game are much bigger than the very weeny shields that the previous one had. The artwork in all the cards is pretty much identical. The biggest change is that the new game has these jewels there instead of these discs. Now, there's good and bad things. The discs are pretty clear and easy to see, although in certain lighting it might be hard to tell the difference between purple and blue. At the same caveat though, the new gems, while the silver and gold in some lightings can be hard to tell apart, although they look phenomenal and they don't roll all over the table. The new game comes in a box as opposed to the tin that the original game came in, and it was a pretty decent tin, but I do tend to like boxes better. And there might be some other minor changes, but that's pretty much the differences. Now let's talk about how game plays. Each player has 4 adventures that you have in front of them. You have in front of you here the wizard, who is 1, the thief, who has a power of 2, and then 2 warriors, a power 3 and a power 4. You also have a shield, and behind the shield you're going to put any gems that you get over the course of the game. Now you're going to start with 4 dragons in the middle of the table. Each of these dragons has a number of gems that are randomly pulled from the gem bag and placed on them. This one here has 7 placed on it. However, once the dragon's defeated, 4 more will be added to it. This one here has 4, and when it's defeated it has 1 more. This one here has nothing on it, but when it's defeated we'll put 7 gems on it. And this one has 11, but when it's defeated we will not add any more to it. The number at the top shows how difficult it is for that dragon to be defeated. So on my turn, I will pick one of my face-up heroes in front of me and place it in front of a dragon. So here, for example, in front of the 7 dragon, I've placed a 4. Let's say the next player places a 3 there. That dragon's now dead because our combined total equals or exceeds the strength of the dragon. Once a dragon is dead, I'm going to add more gems to it. So I pull from the bag here, randomly, 7 gems. We put them on here. Then, the 2 players involved here, the yellow and the orange player, are going to have 1 minute to make a deal. What they must do is they must split these gems in a way that's agreeable to both parties. So maybe the yellow player says, let's do this. The orange player says, no, I don't want to do that. How about this? And they go back and forth arguing or maybe making a deal. If they can't make a deal before the time runs up, they get nothing. Now, when you make this deal, you cannot use anything in the past. You can't make any future deals. You can't do anything except right here, right now, with these. It has to be exactly. And if there are more than 2 players in the round, then there's going to be 3-way negotiations, maybe 4, maybe 5-way negotiations, as players will be all arguing over who gets what. Now, once it's over, everyone will take the gems that they've gotten and put them behind their shield. The 2 different people here, you have the thief and you have the wizard. Well, there's a couple features for both of these. The wizard, and this is the advanced game, which is the only game anyone should ever play anyway. The wizard, whenever he gets a red gem, which are basically magical items, will get to draw a card from this deck here of magical items. And these are things that sometimes are one-use things. For example, here, the adventurer just placed is taken back by its owner and placed face down. Someone else puts someone out, the adventurer out, and you kill them. Or here you can steal someone else's magic item that they played. Here someone plays their adventurer and you force them to put it into a different dungeon. Here you can exchange 2 tokens from the horde of one dragon for 2 tokens of another dragon. There's even one of the cards in here that lets you actually cheat and steal gems off the dragons as long as no one catches you. The thief, after the whole negotiation is done, each player who played a thief can, without looking, reach behind another player who was involved screen and steal one random gem. Once the dragon's killed, we will take it out of the way. We'll draw another dragon to take its place, fill any jewels that might go up on that dragon, and we keep going. Halfway through a round, halfway through the pile of dragons, there's a market card, and the players will have 1 minute to trade gems and jewels that they have from behind their screen with other people, and then we keep going. When we run out of dragons and or gems, then the game will end and players will total up the scores for their gems. In the basic game, and each player has a card that shows you how many there are in each in the deck. The silver ones are worth simply a point, golds are worth 3, and the red ones are worth a point, just like silver, except again they can become magical items. There's also this black one here, which is worth 7 points. Then there are the 5 different colored ones. These are like the precious gems. And each of these is worth nothing by itself, but if you have the most of them, you'll get a certain number of points depending on the players in the game. Now, like I said, I play with the advanced rules, in which it's the same thing. Silvers are 1, gold are 3, reds are 1. However, here, again, these are worth a certain number of points, whoever has the most. The black is worth 19 whopping points, but if you get that black one, you don't get any points from any of these gems. Also, for each complete set of these gems, you get an additional 5-point bonus, which isn't too difficult, except remembering that these clear ones, there are half of them as opposed to the rest of them. Anyway, whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Now, the rules difference here is that basically that the red gems have changed before. When a wizard went to a spot, he automatically got the red gems. Now it has to be something that's negotiated to them, which I think actually makes the game better because you can send multiple wizards there and fight over the different red gems, which makes the negotiation different. Now, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I believe it has often hit my top 100 games of all time list. I love the negotiation aspect of it because it's 1 minute right here, right now. And you have to deal with what's in that minute. And the gems are almost never even. Now, sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. So you have to sometimes say, you know what, I want some better than none. Now, a strong-willed person might try to strong-arm people, but if you push too hard, the other person will just sit there, and then you both get nothing. And in fact, a very strong-willed person will likely lose in this game because of that. Now, you could kind of be a jerk too and ruin negotiations, but then you won't win yourself. The magic items are really fun. They don't come up as often as you might think because there's only so many of those red gems, and then you have to have a wizard get them. But those, which are only in the advanced game, and the advanced scoring rules make the advanced game to me far superior, and it's not really that advanced. But I love it. I love especially when there's a 4-way or 5-way or maybe, well, I guess that's the most I've ever seen, negotiation and everyone wants something, and you know, how are you going to make everybody happy when there's 1 gold and 4 silvers and it's being split 3 ways? You know, is someone going to get the gold and the other 2 people get 2 silvers? Well, who gets the gold? And you could say, well, I sent a bigger fighter. That means nothing to us right now. And some people really do hate this game. I've really seen a lot of people, they don't like that forced fast negotiation, but I love it. I find it fascinating. It's thrilling. It gives you that sense of adrenaline as I must get these things. And what are you trying to collect? Maybe you're going for the different colored gems, or maybe you're going for lots of gold and silver, just straight points. And then when that black gem shows up, you say, oh, it's overpowering. But very rarely have I seen the person with the black gem win the game because they've had to negotiate away everything else, basically. The colored gems mean nothing, so now it's all about points. And it can be stolen from them. You know who has the black gem, so you were trying to steal randomly and hope to hit it big. Very entertaining game, one I highly recommend. It's certainly a very unique, it's a game that when I have 6 people, I go, ooh, we can play Dragon's Gold because it says 45 minutes in the box, and that's pretty much there. It's not about killing dragons, it's just about splitting the loot. Like it very much. Check it out. Dragon's Gold. Dice Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!